Back in the 90s, Sarah Palin was a name that caught everyone's attention. She wasn't just another politician. She became a cultural phenomenon, someone who stood out in a world dominated by serious suits and rehearsed speeches. But how did she rise from a small-town life in Alaska to becoming one of the most talked-about women in the country? Let's take a closer look at her fascinating story. Sarah Louise Heath was born in 1964 in Sandpoint, Idaho, but her family moved to Alaska when she was just a baby. Growing up in the small town of Wasilla, Sarah had a love for the outdoors that matched Alaska's rugged charm. She hunted, fished, and played sports. In high school, she was even nicknamed Barracuda for her aggressive playing style on the basketball court. This competitive streak was something she carried with her throughout her life. Her first brush with fame came in 1984 when she competed in the Miss Alaska beauty pageant. She didn't win the crown, but she did win over the audience with her confidence and charm. She also earned the title of Miss Congeniality, showing early signs of her ability to connect with people. After graduating from college with a degree in communications and a focus on journalism, she worked briefly as a sports reporter for local TV stations. But it wasn't long before she turned her attention to politics. In 1992, Sarah entered public life when she was elected to the Wasilla City Council. 4 years later, she ran for mayor and won, becoming a rising star in Alaskan politics. She was known for her hands-on leadership style and her focus on reducing taxes and improving infrastructure. Even then, her charisma and no-nonsense approach set her apart. But her biggest breakthrough came in 2006 when she was elected governor of Alaska. At just 42 years old, she was the youngest person and the first woman to hold that position. Her approval ratings were sky-high, and people loved her outsider image. She wasn't afraid to take on big oil companies, challenging their influence in Alaska's energy policies. She also pushed for more transparency in government, making her a breath of fresh air in the political world. Then came the moment that turned her into a national figure. In 2008, Republican presidential candidate John McCain shocked the country by choosing Sarah Palin as his running mate. Suddenly, she was everywhere, on TV, in magazines, and at the center of heated debates. People couldn't stop talking about her. Some admired her down-to-earth personality and her ability to connect with everyday Americans. Others criticized her lack of experience and questioned her readiness for the role. Her speeches were memorable, especially her introduction at the Republican National Convention, where she famously referred to herself as a hockey mom and joked about the difference between a hockey mom and a pit bull being lipstick. Her plain-spoken style resonated with many, but it also made her a target for parodies and jokes. Who could forget Tina Fey's impression of her on Saturday Night Live? It became so iconic that it blurred the line between comedy and reality. Despite the attention, the McCain-Palin ticket lost the election. But Sarah wasn't done yet. She used her newfound fame to launch a second career. She wrote a best-selling book, Going Rogue, which sold over 2 million copies. She also starred in a reality TV show, Sarah Palin, Alaska, giving viewers a glimpse into her personal life. Whether people loved her or disagreed with her, one thing was clear: Sarah knew how to keep herself in the spotlight. Over the years, Sarah Palin became more than just a politician. She became a symbol. To her supporters, she represented the everyday American, someone who stood up for traditional values and wasn't afraid to speak her mind. To her critics, she was a polarizing figure, often sparking controversy with her remarks. Either way, she stayed relevant, proving that her appeal wasn't just a passing phase. Sarah Palin's story is one of resilience and reinvention. From her humble beginnings in Alaska to becoming one of the most talked-about women in the country, she broke barriers and created a legacy that's hard to ignore. Even today, her name sparks discussions, showing just how much of an impact she's had. If you enjoyed learning about Sarah Palin's rise to fame, don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments. And if you're curious to hear more about other fascinating personalities, make sure to subscribe and stay tuned. Your support keeps these stories alive.